Empathy without boundaries is a weakness. But when you hold your boundaries and stay empath, you're stronger than your trauma. Welcome back to Light and Shadow. My name is JF. Today I'm talking about survival strategies for empath. I've done my last few podcasts have been about empath, but somebody messaged me and said, how do I protect myself as an empath? So we're going to delve into this right now. Balancing strong empathy with resilience requires treating your empathy as a finite resource. What that means is that your empathy will only last for so long before you burn out. So it's important to protect it. Resilience is built by combining emotional compassion with firm boundaries, self-care, and accepting that you cannot control or change those who lack empathy. Here are strategies to maintain your empathetic nature while protecting your peace. 1. Establish firm boundary. This is the backbone of protecting yourself. Define your limits. Identify when your empathy turns into codependency or self-sacrifice. It's not noble to become a safe house for other people's demon at the cost of your mental health. As empath, we always want to help others, and sometimes we go overboard, and we need to recognize when we do that, because trying to help everybody only leaves you stuck and your needs not satisfied. Use no effectively. No is a complete sentence and does not require justification or explanations. Set boundaries on your time, energy, and availability. Use functional detachment. Practice active listening without absorbing the other person's emotion. You can understand a situation without feeling it. And that is very true. The way I protect myself from other people's emotions so that I don't get overwhelmed is I imagine a bubble of white light surrounding me and expanding outwards. This is my shield, and I visualize this. And this shield prevents other people's emotions, feelings, energy to come through me. And as funny as it sounds, it works. It absolutely works. It took me a while to master it, but now I do. And when I feel overwhelmed by other people's emotions or energy, what I do is I take a couple of minutes, close my eyes, and I imagine that bubble of light that's surrounding me and expanding outwards. It works. Next, protect yourself from mockery and toxic people. Detach emotionally. When someone mocks your empathy, remind yourself that it's a reflection of their limitation, not your weakness. Use the pause and redirect. If mocked, pause, look at them calmly, and state, that's a very strange thing to say. And then just move on without needing their agreement or acknowledgement. Stop seeking validation. Do not try to get validation from people who lack empathy. They cannot give it. Seek it from supportive, empathetic people. 3, build resilience through self-care. Prioritize self-compassion. Be as kind to yourself as you are to others. The way I can represent that is if you're going on a flight, the cabin crew will give you a safety demonstration. Now, in that safety demonstration, they tell you that if the oxygen mask drops, to put it on yourself first before helping others. Same goes for prioritizing your self-compassion. Take care of yourself first, emotionally, physically, before you help others. Because if you don't do that, you're just going to burn out. Nervous system regulation. Engage in deep breathing, yoga, spend time in nature. That's what I do. I love spending time in nature. It recharges me. To reset your empathy system and release absorbed stress. Discharge energy. If you feel heavy after a conversation, shake your hands, walk in place, or wash your hands to physically discharge the energy. Or you can just do some meditation and say, I return this energy to where it came from. It does not belong to me. Shift from empathy to compassionate actions. Empathetic concerns versus distress. Distinguishing between emotional empathy, feeling others' pains, which causes burnout, and empathetic concern, caring about others' well-being without being overwhelmed. Take action. If you cannot help, detach and move on. Taking action, even small, productive steps, reduce the helplessness and burnout associated with empathy. Spiritual discernment. Now, this is another big one. If you cannot learn discernment, you're going to be in trouble. Discernment is the ability to distinguish between truth and lies, good and evil, or divine and worldly influence, enabling wise, life-giving choices. It functions as a spiritual sense that unmasks deception and aligns actions with God's will, often distinguishing between divine consolation, hope and peace, and desolation, fear and selfishness. Key aspects of spiritual discernment include purpose. It protects individual from spiritual deception and aids in making correct decision and foster spiritual maturity. Now, when you do something with purpose, when you do something with good intentions, it always provides positive results. When you do something with bad intentions, well, karma will get you. The gift versus discipline. While some possess a specific gift of discernment to detect the spirit behind actions, it is also a discipline to be developed through studying. So I encourage you to look up discernment and see how it applies to yourself. Practice. It thrives in stillness, meditation, knowledge, and through quiet listening and introspection. When you learn to do introspection, you also learn discernment. Why? Because you're able to view things from different angles. And when you do that, you can see your actions, their actions. And when you put the two together, it helps you discern what that person's intentions were. Signs. It involves recognizing the behavior of a situation or a person rather than just outward appearances. That's the old adage, never judge a book by its cover. Simple as that. Some people may look nice and shiny on the outside, but on the inside, they're rotten. When you learn discernment, you learn to identify that. Requirement. A humble heart, as well as a good intention, will clear one's perception to understand further. That's very simple. How to develop discernment. Ask for it. Tell the universe what you want to achieve wisdom and discernment. Now, this is where the good intention come in. When you ask something from the universe and God, you just don't ask for the thing like, just, I want $1 million. No. That doesn't work and that'll never work. Instead, ask why. Why do I need $1 million? What will I do with it? Dear universe, God, I want $1 million so that I can help my family and I can take the rest and donate it to a charity to help other people. That's asking the universe or God for help with good intention. I would highly recommend that you look that up. Look up how to ask for anything using good intentions. Study. Compare thoughts, words, and action against spiritual truth. Practice silence. Take time to listen in stillness to distinguish your spirit's voice from personal emotion or external noise. This is where the bubble of light that I encompass myself in when I want to protect myself, because I always ask myself the question very often, and that is, I'm feeling calm right now. Why all of a sudden do I feel anxious? Well, you feel anxious because you're picking up other people's energy. And when you take a few minutes in silence and use your introspection and then think about the conversation, the action that other person put towards you and look at it from different perspective, you'll be able to discern what that person's action thoughts were. Was it good or was it bad? You'll see. That feeling that you're going to get, listen to it. Listen to that feeling that you get. It'll tell you everything you need to know. Live your truth. Now, that's an important one. Living your truth in small or big matters strengthen the ability to perceive larger truth. What I mean by living your truth is be who you truly are. Just be who you are in truth and in love. And you know what? Good things will happen to you. Evaluate. Look for signs of consolation, faith, hope, love, versus desolation, dark, drain, indecisions. Evaluate what you just went through. Evaluate that conversation you had. Evaluate that interaction you had with somebody else. Do they have my best interest at heart? Are they trying to do something that I don't want to do? And that takes practice, like anything else. Number 6, find your people. Now, that's also very important. Expand your support network. Surround yourself with individuals who value and share your empathetic nature. This provides validation and a safe harbor. What I did is I did not remove friendship, but I gravitated towards the friendship or my friends who are empath, because I know that they understand me and I know that they will validate my thoughts. Your empathy is a strength that needs protection, not a vulnerability that should be punished. The goal is to keep your heart open, but your boundaries firm. And this is where you're going to have to practice, because you know what? It's hard sometimes to keep and defend our boundaries when it's people that we love that are pushing them. But if you don't do that, you're going to be the worst one off. And if the persons that you're talking to do not understand why you have boundaries and get mad at it, but you know what? They're not good people for you. People who disrespect your boundaries will disrespect you. So that's it about supporting the empath or protecting the empath. And again, I'll ask you, as always, what have you done to shine your light this week? For me, it was simple. I helped my neighbors. I supported people when they had questions regarding anything spiritual. I also worked on myself, as I always do every week. I always do some introspection. I always practice my defending my boundaries. And sometimes as you go through life, you have to redefine those boundaries because the ones you set a year ago might not be applicable to what you have today. And it's important to share our light. It's important to share our love with others, with our family, with our neighbors, with our co-workers. The world is a dark place lately, darker than it was. And by us sharing our light, by us loving each other, by us showing and demonstrating love and understanding, we can help others get out of a deep, dark hole. And you know what? You never know how your actions will help someone. It's incredible how it works. One little action can change somebody else's day completely for the better. So I encourage you to keep shining your light and to keep being good to each other. It's important because without love, this place would just fall apart. So let's keep love light. Let's keep the light alive and let's share it. It's for the better. So thank you for joining me today. And as always, I wish you love, light, and shadows. Until next time.